Girish Agarwaal, Director at DB Corp, is joining us right now from Mumbai. Girish, congratulations, good performance. Can you add more color to the quarter, qualitatively as well as on the operational front? How was the quarter for you, and also does the traction in advertising revenue growth continue in the coming quarters?
See, let me address the point of operationally first. In last, I think 18 months, what we have done pretty good is that we have taken the pretty strong measures on the cost control. So on the operative front, we are pretty strong. And in terms of revenue, thankfully, this quarter we were able to grow around 18% in the ad revenue. So that's been pretty encouraging, and that helped us to take up the EBITDA and the PAT margin also. Going forward, as you know, we are launching our Bihar edition from 19th, and we are targeting almost 1,70,000 copies to start with. Out of this 1,70,000, we already booked 1,55,000 copies from the readers for 1 year by taking upfront advance also. So we are very confident about the Bihar numbers and the deliveries coming from there. On the advertising side, most of the categories have been good to us, especially I would say the FMCG and real estate took up pretty good numbers in the last quarter.
Okay, let's talk about the recent launch that you've done in Bihar. Can you talk about that? What is the total revenue size of the Bihar market? How much market share are you looking to garner there? And how many more such launches do you see in the Hindi-speaking regions?
See, Bihar is around roughly 350 crore market, advertising market, and we are launching on 19th of this month. So we're very hopeful that the kind of strength what we are looking at in Bihar will be able to take a sizable chunk of this market going forward. And once the Bihar is stabilized in next 2 years' time, then only we'll look at another market in the Hindi or any other language.
Okay. But you would agree with me that this is a very interesting time. We have elections, Lok Sabha elections in about 3-4 months' time. So how is that going to augment your ad revenues? Obviously, there's going to be a lot of pre-election spending. How do you stand to capitalize on that?
No, I think I must clarify that because most of the newspaper organizations do not really get the kind of advantage which generally people assume from the election. For example, in the last quarter, we had the election in my states, and out of the 18% growth, if I take the election out, the growth is 15%. So you can imagine the total election contribution to the revenue was around 3% growth. So similarly in Bihar, it's an interesting time from the readership point of view that I would assume because of Lok Sabha coming in. So there will be a time for a reader to judge and look for a newspaper comparatively also. So that's what we are looking ahead for.
Okay. Let's talk about the radio business. How's that shaping up? I believe radio business EBITDA came in at about 11.3 crore, 47% margin in Q3 and has grown by about 54%. Can you talk about the radio business and the break even at the profit level? Has that already happened?
Yeah, radio break-even actually happened quite some time back. We were among the first companies in the country to do a radio cash EBITDA break-even almost in a period of 2.5-3 years time. And radio is profitable. Advantages, there is no cost like newsprint over there which keeps going up and down. So the only whatever revenue comes up goes to the EBITDA directly. So for example, this quarter we had a growth of around 25% in the radio business, and the EBITDA went up. We have a EBITDA margin of almost 47% in radio. And looking forward, we feel that we should be able to, further take it up. We all are eagerly waiting for the next round of auctions to happen. So if that bidding happens, that will able to increase the footprint in the radio business also.
Absolutely. Girish, how can you add more color to the newsprint cost right now? Is that still a constraint as far as input costs are concerned? And if yes, what's the outlook ahead? Do you see newsprint cost coming down, or do you think it's going to remain elevated?
See, what we have seen in compared to last year to this year, there has been around 10% increase in the newsprint total cost to us, which has two impacts. One is the actual price increase and one is the dollar fluctuations. So considering all these two, we somehow get no signals around that these prices are going to go down drastically. The only thing what we are hoping that this should not go up further.
Okay. Just one final question before I let you go. Overall, how do you see the year ahead in terms of business, in terms of advertising spending, in terms of new launches, in terms of radio business? How do you see the year ahead? Obviously, the industry has taken a setback because of the broader economy going through a rough phase. But as that is expected to bottom out and improve in the coming quarters, do you see traction improving as far as business in the coming quarters?
Frankly speaking, we feel that things are slightly improving, and there's a reason this kind of growth which came in the last quarter, and we hope that should continue like that. But can anybody give you exact assumption? Then there has to be astrologer kind of person saying that this may happen. But we are working practically on a weekly basis in terms of growth numbers.
All right, fair enough, Girish. All the best for growth. Great getting your perspective. As always, congratulations and all the very best. Let's move on. KAC has announced a large order win. As a matter of fact, KAC International has bagged